Now, there are people like Ed Chiarini who think that some of this stuff is staged. Now, one would think that because that's his job to think that, right? Well, he is the one that is sort of given the job of seeing what's really taking place here. Are we being hoodwinked again? I'm going to let him tell you this time, because I'm not even going to try narrate what I think is going on, because I don't know. There's too much that appears to be fraudulent news. That means it's news they don't want us to lose. It's news they want to create. And it's news they create for our consumption.
Well, I agree with Ed's findings, and it coincides with my findings, because while he was on the trail with these witnesses, I was on the trail with other witnesses that were in the case as well. And this all coincides together. I think that all of them were actors. I refer to it as Hollywood was there.
I am a believer now that much of what we see is created. Do I know, for instance, did that TSA event happen yesterday with a 95-year-old lady? I don't know. We didn't see any footage of her being groped, did we? Is that incendiary? What about Greece? Is that really exploding right now? Is that old file film? Representative Giffords is going to appear in public in an awards ceremony in Houston. Is that real?
Let me give you a brief background on how I got involved with this and who these individuals are that I was involved with at the time. When the Giffords event took place, I did the Truth or Girls radio show. From that, I got a lot of publicity, and a person named Stephanie Sledge, the owner of a website called The Government Rag, contacted me and wanted me to meet with a friend of hers named Joyce Riley, who was the host of the Power Hour on GCN. Joyce had Stephanie and I on her show several times, talking about the information that we had gathered. It got to the point where we needed to put feet on the ground, and I submitted a budget to Joyce, and she approved it, and we traveled to Arizona. While in Arizona, I learned a lot about Stephanie Sledge, and I learned a lot about what was going on behind the scenes that I had not seen before when it comes to Joyce Riley and the individuals that are claiming to be truthers. Now, why is this important? Well, bear with me and you'll see the reality behind what's going on here. You're going to see the other side of this so-called movement, and you'll understand what their agenda is, who is funding it, and who is the main managers of their activities. You'll be surprised, I guarantee it. Now, you're going to hear audio from a pocket recorder that I had. Stephanie and I both bought them at Radio Shack. That was the first thing that I told her we needed to get, and have them on us at all times just to protect ourselves. So I recorded the conversations that we had, and you're going to see the true intent of Stephanie Sledge, and then I'm going to reveal to you who she really is. Stephanie informed me that she wanted me to meet a friend of hers named Lee Bracker. He and his friend Sheldon, I was told, were investigators.
I highly recommend Ty's book, Cancer, Step Outside the Box. This is the book.
Yesterday, an unspeakable tragedy occurred in the community of Newtown.
The topic of cancer,
20 beautiful children and 7 wonderful adults lost their lives. All of Connecticut's people, indeed the people of the world, weep for the immeasurable losses suffered by the families and loved ones of these victims.
And Lee was writing a book on the Giffords event and had seen the postings that I put on YouTube of the Orzo County police broadcasts. And basically, from my findings, it turned his book upside down, and he basically said he was going to stop writing it because the information that he had gathered was not correct. I explained to Stephanie that this is not going to be the person that you want to partner up with, because he's definitely either going to try to manipulate us into failing, or he's just going to try to steal the information that we present and use it in his other book. She disagreed with me. Within the first 5 minutes of meeting with them, I could tell that they were full of it. Their stories didn't match, and under questioning, it fell apart completely. Lee tried to pass on to me some documents saying they were official, and of course they weren't. He also tried to pass on a story that he and Sheldon got a gun pulled on him by Brandon Lee Pittman, another person involved in the Giffords event, and this is of course fake. But we can see that he still wrote about it on his blog and of course libeled me as well. Stephanie libeled me many times also after the Giffords event because of the way that we parted ways, and you will hear it out of her mouth. The lies that she is spreading to people are consistent with the findings that I will present to you as per who she really is. After the meeting with Lee and Sheldon, I told Stephanie that I was not working with Lee, and she blew up on me, and she said that I couldn't tell her what to do, and I said, I'm not telling you what to do, I'm telling you what I'm doing, and I'm not working with Lee. You're more than welcome to. And this didn't go over well, because her intent was to try to get me to trip myself up on some fake information that he was trying to present to me. The following morning, she texted me and said that she was going to go pick up Lee, and we had spoke about her going to the hospital that day and conducting some interviews. What happened next, and I'll let you hear it, was my first clue as to her true intent. This is after her incident at the hospital with Lee. She comes back to my hotel room and informs me of some information that I was unaware of, and tried to act like she called me or she notified me of this, which she didn't.
Hey, what do you call it? Your blanket's back over there.
Because she was afraid for her life, she wanted to stay in my room, which I said that was fine. I recorded the whole event, so I knew that nothing was going to happen. I stayed on the computer, and she stayed on the bed.
That's where they're going to be on that side.
I am going to stay in your place tonight, just to make it look like I'm staying there. Of course, I'll be hauling out all my blankets and stuff.
Yeah, she came and took it.
Was it up front?
No, she took it to your place. The maid just came about 10 minutes ago. About 5 minutes ago.
She took it back to one club.
Yeah, she said, do you by chance have the comforter for your room? And I said, yeah.
Oh, but not my brown blanket.
No, this.
Okay, I don't need to go over there.
Yeah, well, she's probably over there right now. You haven't been over there?
Well, I don't need to go over
Oh,
there.
I was just saying, just in case you wanted to watch her.
Now, as you can tell at that point, I am not aware that she has checked out and what's going on, because she hasn't told me yet.
There's nothing over there. I checked out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I left you a message.
I didn't get any message.
Well, I left you a voicemail.
Oh, okay.
This is sort of what your plan is.
At this point, this is when the operative kicks in, and she's information gathering.
Oh, okay. You checked out?
Yeah. Well, last night you said you didn't want to work with me anymore, and you told Joyce that you wanted a different car, so I just decided that, I figured that we're just on our own now.
Okay.
Well, what is it? I came back to find out what your plans are.
She's desperate to find out what I'm going to do there, so they can tell me, as I find out later on.
Okay, well, my plans are my plans. That's fine. If you're going to do that, that's fine. So what's the deal with this room then? What's she going to... Do I need to talk to Joyce then?
You haven't talked to Joyce?
No.
Well, I would assume that you would have.
Well, why would you assume that? Because I don't know what's going on.
Well, I don't either. And last night you made it clear to
last night, you know what I told you last night? I told you that I wasn't working with Lee. And if you're going to work with Lee, that's fine. You can work with Lee. But I said I was not going to work with him, and you said that he was on the case. So, well, he's not on the case with me.
But you were giving me an ultimatum.
I did not give you an ultimatum, and you know that.
She attempts, of course, to twist the words, but I'm not going for it.
You know exactly what I said.
So what are your plans and what are you doing? Like, what is it that you're doing?
I'm not telling you what I'm doing because obviously you've made up your mind and you've done what you're going to do, so...
I tried to call you this morning.
Okay, well, I sent you text and you sent me text, but you didn't decide to tell me then, so...
Well, I left you a message and I called you a few times. I told you to call me. I mean,
And I sent you a text and told you...
But that's not communication, Ed.
Okay, that is communication.
It is not. I asked you to call me and tell me what your plans were, what was going on.
Okay, well, here's the deal. I'm not telling you my plans because that's my plans. Since you've decided to make up your mind and do whatever you're going to do, which you just now told me, that's fine. You can do what you want. Now, I just asked you, should I talk to Joyce? Or was there any message given to Joyce about what I'm supposed to do with this room? And obviously, you're not saying that there was, so I'll talk to Joyce.
Well, I think you should call her because,
okay, I'm glad you think that.
I just made up my mind because of the fact that, I can't be given ultimatums.
I didn't give you an ultimatum. This is the fourth time now I've told you this. I did not give you an ultimatum. You know exactly what I said last night, and I said I'm not working with Lee. That's fine. I'm not working with Lee. It has nothing to do with you.
Well, it wasn't about Lee.
Yes, it was, and you know it was. You know exactly what it was about, and I told you I wasn't working with Lee, and you told me I'm not going to tell you what you're going to do, and I said, no, I'm not telling you what you're going to do. I said, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. I'm not working with Lee. So I said, you were more than welcome. I said, no, I don't care what you think the cases, where they come from. That's up to you. I told you, as per our relationship, me and you, I am fine working with you. If you're going to work with Lee, I'm not working with Lee. So now, if you want to give me you have no idea what I've been doing here.
I don't, because you don't share.
Because I can't share them with you because you will compromise them with Lee.
I do not compromise this case.
Really? So you're the one that went into the hospitals then? And you did your investigation? No, you sent Lee in.
Yeah, I did.
Really? So
that was my decision.
Well, now your decision was not the decision that we discussed.
We did not discuss that.
Yes, we did. We discussed our plan of what we were going to do when we got here, and the plan was to investigate it with me and you. Now, not with Lee.
But see, earlier in the morning,
that's your decision.
We agreed that I would go with Lee and...
No.
Yes, it was.
The decision was that you were going to go, and you were going to go to the hospitals and interview.
No, you knew I was going to go pick up Lee.
That has nothing to do with what I just said. You were going to do interviews with the people at the hospital.
We were going to go interview. We were going to go take footage of the place so that we could understand.
So then, therefore, you then didn't do what we said.
What we did was we decided that we were going to go try to figure out what colors the helicopters were that landed.
Then why did you go send him in to interview then?
It wasn't an interview. It was casual conversation.
Okay, look, this is not going anywhere right now because you're not making any sense. What you're saying is not what you're doing, and what you're doing is not what you're saying.
Well, anyway, why is it that you don't think we should go to the Safeway?
Totally avoids the subject, tries to change it, and is pretty obvious at that point what she's trying to do.
I am not compromising my investigation.
So you want to compromise me?
Nope. You can do what you want, I said.
But you don't want to share something that might endanger my life?
Endanger your life? What did we just say last night about endangering your life? You were more than welcome to stay here. You were more than welcome to. You were more than welcome to do all these different safety procedures that I set in line.
Right,
but then all of a sudden,
call Joyce and figure out how you're going to get home.
Will do.
Alrighty. I'm sorry it didn't work out.
Hey, do you have my stun gun?
I even loaned her my stun gun. I gave her pepper spray. I explained to her different procedures that we should do coming and going from the hotel. She followed none of them. And in fact, we were tailed several times because of it.
Alright, well, I would definitely call Joyce.
Did you have anything else in mind?
No, I just wanted to know why I can't go to the Safeway.
Well, you can do whatever you want. I'm just saying. Do you have anything else in mind?
Can you believe that? Amazing.
I don't think so.
Okay, good. Nice to meet you.
Now, being slick, she left her cell phone with the recording on in the room and was trying to see what I would say after she left. But I saw that it was on record and I turned it off. But you see she comes back to get her phone, and you hear how it goes.
I just spoke to Joyce, and she wants you to call her.
Alright, whatever. Thank you.
Now, how did she speak to Joyce when her cell phone is in my room?
Hang on. Let me call you back.
Better get my phone.
And that was the last time I spoke to Stephanie Sledge. Now, I'm going to play you some of the clips that she recorded in the car that day before this conversation with Lee. The Lee trip to the hospital that she, of course, is now saying that I gave her an ultimatum and I was the bad guy. But listen to how they talk in the car about me.
I know. Ed said he was going to jailbreak my phone tonight because I thought I jailbroke it, but I didn't.
She's completely lying because I had no idea she even had a phone, nor would I even offer her to do something like that to her phone, not even knowing her.
What's a jailbreak?
It's when you remove the tracking device. You wipe out the tracking device program.
You can do that?
Mm-hmm. And I see, this is a new phone. My last one was jailbroke. Okay.
I want to hang out with Ed for a while and learn.
Ed is super smart. He is so smart. I can't even believe how smart he is. He's just a genius.
Yes. We're all so talented in everything we do. We're equally genius.
Is that, okay, there's a children's hospital here.
Did you hear that accent on the last word? Let me play it for you again.
Children's hospital here. Children's hospital here.
Now that's important because that accent, when I first met her, I asked her about it and she denied even having one. But of course you can hear it. It's not an American accent, I come to find out. And you'll find out too who she really is.
Is that the name of the hospital? Why do they keep saying that in the videos?
I don't know. Is there a Giffords Hospital here?
They say that it's Giffords Memorial.
Oh, you know, I should be going straight because I see all the EMTs coming up.
But you can't go straight now, Lee.
That's right. We got cars up.
Yeah, that's a parking, but it might have the maybe we should park and go up that ramp because it has the helicopter flag. Okay, we got the emergency room trauma. Okay, we are now at UMC, and UMC stands for
University Medical Center.
Okay, University Medical Center, and this is where Gabrielle Giffords was brought, along with Christina Taylor Green. All but 2 people were brought here.
Listen to that accent one more time.
All but 2 people were brought here. All but 2 people were brought here.
I'm just going to ask him.
No, I don't want anybody. I am not here to talk to anybody right now, Lee. I'm here to get recordings.
Where the paddles?
Okay, well, they're gone. I don't want to make any contact with anybody right now. I am just recording video on...
There he is. And ask him what color the helicopters are. If we don't see one.
Yeah, just tell him you're doing a story, and I don't know what you want to tell him.
I won't say anything. I'll just say,
No, she wouldn't compromise the case.
But she said that it's usually white and blue striped helicopters that come here. So
White and blue.
yeah.
Okay. He's gone.
Oh, shit.
Yep. He came out when you were talking to those people. All right, let's go, Lee.
So do you think they're listening to us so they know where we are?
Huh? Let's get off the property and bail. Let's take some dogs.
Now listen to Lee tell her that I need to give them information. And you'll start to understand what's going on here. She also says that she was going to call me. Now remember, in the hotel room, she says she called me many times. No, she never did.
So now, if he needs to give you information, he's just going to email it to you. I won't call you. And then you tell me what he says.
I am going to call him, though.
and find out, like, I mean, what did he do today? Do you want to talk about that?
I want you to listen to this next voice and see if you recognize it.
It seemed as such a hard and impossible task. Hard and impossible task. Hard and impossible task.
Hospital here.
Plus, a lot of these guns have come up at crime scenes all over the Southwest. The ATF was also worried. You know, they deny it, but they're also worried because Jared Lee Loughner's gun may be part of this ATF scandal, the Project Gun Runner, Fast and Furious, that was going on. So, the gun grab is real. Plus, a lot of these guns have come up at crime scenes all over the Southwest. The ATF was also worried. You know, they deny it, but they're also worried because Jared Lee Loughner's gun may be part of this ATF scandal, the Project Gun Runner, Fast and Furious, that was going on. So,
I see no bettered persons.
The gun grab is real.
Nobel laureates
to take care of their own. I grew up on a farm. You know, I was kind of tossed between the little town and the farm.
Did you catch that micro expression? Here, watch it again.
To take care of their own. I grew up on a farm. You know, I was kind of tossed between the little town and the farm.
The pulling back of the corner of the mouth. It's a very slight move, but it shows she's smirking.
And so what I learned growing up is that you take care of yourself.
The reason why she's smirking is because her farm, she forgets to mention, it's a castle, where her father, the king, and the rest of her family have their main residence. So allow me to introduce you to the Crown Princess of Sweden, Princess Victoria.